黄色い線を踏まないでお乗りください。顔や手などを手すりの外側へ出すと黄色い線の内側にお乗りください。エスカレーターの傾斜が変わります。足元の黄色い線を踏まないでお乗りください。
では、1番線先導部屋の例、復元の過程を見ることにしよう。まず、模型から寸法を測り、図面に書き起こしてみる。
So this is the footpath that basically everyone would use upon entering or exiting Dejima. This is the thoroughfare, if you will. Well, I looked at the blueprint basically of Dejima, and this is number 109, this thoroughfare, if you will, right here. Dejima is a location where sugar was, well, this room right here is a warehouse. This is where sugar was warehoused. So right here in Nagasaki is where the sugar was harvested, cultivated, I suppose. At present, I'm inside a sugar warehouse. All right. Sugar was one of the most important import items in Dejima. Produced mostly on sugar plantations in Indonesia, it was carried to Japan as both merchandise and ballast for the Dutch ships. What began as a painting or sketching right here has become a model. The dark, swarthy man represents the Japanese. The fair, complected men are the Dutch. Hey, travel back in time in Japan to Dejima. This is Dejima. During the long period of national isolation between 1641 and 1859, Nagasaki served as Japan's only open window to the west. And Dejima, a small fan-shaped artificial island built offshore, served as a gateway for the introduction and spread of Western culture and knowledge. How do I know this? Well, because I'm reading it from the brochure here. This is a pretty cool place if you come to Nagasaki. Yeah, it's a real step back in time. It's kind of like, if you're from California, you know, like Knott's Berry Farm-ish, you know? But it's cool. You got the guys dressed up as, I'd imagine, maybe not, maybe so, I don't know, samurais. They've got the swords and all that and the conical hats, that's cool. Then, yeah, and then just to see what all the Japanese were doing at that time. All of that's interesting stuff. Tobacco brought a reprieve from boredom. Life was boring for the employees of the Dutch Dejima factory. The large number of clay pipes unearthed at Dejima show that tobacco smoking was one of the important ways in which they passed time on the island. Interesting how even today, it's still a pastime, smoking. All right, so back that way, that's the early 1600s and whatever from Dejima, but this way behind me, this is like, they said it's the early 19th century construction. So you can notice the difference in the archaeological designs in both. Yeah, pretty cool, eh? Take a trip back in time. Well, I'm in the Meiji era section of Dejima. That was the early 19th century, 1800s basically. The building over there, the building over here, that's the time period we're in now. So, what can I say? Nagasaki. I went to the Peace Park, where which is not far from the museum, the Peace Museum, as well as the Hypo Center. That's the location where the atomic bomb was dropped on Nagasaki. So that was a very somber experience, to say the least. So now I'm down south here at Dejima, checking out a new, well, not a new, but I mean, well, for today, a new site, a new location. it's not actually that new for me. I was here maybe 9 or 10 years ago. And what I remember from that experience was, well, I went to a museum. I went to a museum around here, and a nice old Japanese man gave me a tour. I think he was a volunteer there at the museum. And he said, come with me, I'll show you around, which he did. And that was a wonderful experience. I got to witness a performance, a Japanese, sort of like a kabuki theater experience. Yeah, it was a demonstration of theater. After the show, one of the actors, I spoke with him, and he asked me where I'm from, and I think he told me that either he had lived in San Francisco or he was from there. So it was like, it was like the world got really smaller in that moment, right? He's like, oh yeah, I know. I thought he was Japanese, right from right here, but no, not at all. Then, yeah, I came to Dejima, 10 or 9 years ago. Yep. And the thing about the trip that I made to Nagasaki 9 or 10 years ago is that I didn't know as much about Nagasaki as I'm learning today. The pressure to move around the city to see things in a short period of time, well, that's all dissipated. I've been here before, I'm taking my time, and things are resonating with me deeply and differently than they did before. So, yeah, this is a wonderful experience to come back, to revisit a location. So, some of the things that I certainly did not know at that time were, number one, that right here, this road at Dejima, on the map, it's number 109. I didn't know that. Didn't care for it. Didn't pay attention to it. It's just a mundane detail. Why would anyone? Why would I care for it? But fact is fact. Then what I really didn't know is that Nagasaki and Hiroshima were basically the result of projects that started at one address, and that address was 109 East Palace. It's in New Mexico, in America, in the state of New Mexico. And again, 9 or 10 years ago, when I came to Nagasaki and when I came to Hiroshima for the very first time, all I knew is that these were, extremely historic events in our history, and that I wanted to see history. I wanted to be present. I wanted to touch places, wanted to see, learn, wanted to really be there. That was it. I had no idea that 10 years later I would have these stories connected to or related to 10-9, and then one of the biggest connections to places that I've traveled to would also be 10-9 or 10-9. Because what I'm saying is, sadly, the Manhattan Project that led to the creation of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, well, they wouldn't have been possible were it not for that address. See, well, actually, it would have been possible. I don't want to overstate the importance of that address, because if it weren't that address, it would have been some other address, really. But that address was so important and integral to the project that the project was able to carry on. See, it was a clandestine operation, and all of the scientists who were involved in the creation, in the Manhattan Project and the creation of these atomic bombs, they went to that location, 109 East Palace, secretly, clandestinely. They passed that threshold, and then they went on to work on the project at another location, But it was that location, that was the hub, that was the meeting point, the first point of meeting of any of those workers on that project. And then from there on, they went to the secretive location to carry out their tasks. All right, so that's a 10-9, that's a 109 connection there. But another one for you is the fact that there were countless, so many African American scientists who worked on that project. Men and women who were working in a clandestine fashion, so they couldn't tell their stories, they couldn't tell their families what role they had in the project. And you know what else? Because it was a secret, they didn't even know what the project was that they were actually working on. It was that top secret. Well, those are some things that I learned about the Manhattan Project that resulted in the bombs that ultimately were used at Nagasaki and Hiroshima. That's just something that I wanted to share with you here while I'm in Nagasaki for the second time here at Dejima, where the main road, the main thoroughfare that runs straight through this, what once was an island, yep, on the map. I think it's a recent map, so they're just numbering things. It didn't 109 doesn't hold any significance really, but it is listed as number 109. I'm gonna leave you and I'm gonna get back on that road. Nice chatting with you. Have a good day.
(109) が見えます。
Hey, what's up, man? So you work here now? Yeah, I got the job about a week ago. Oh yeah, what about you? Man, I've been here about a month. It's a pretty cool gig, no worries. That's what's up. I'm a master of this game. I'll show you. Have any idea what they're playing? Not a clue. I'm getting a little bit of money from this, so I don't care, man. Yeah, me too. I can take some of this money and send it home. I wonder who's going to win this game. I've placed my wager. I'm going to certainly win this one. I've placed my wager as well. Well, how much longer do you think we'll be here? Well, I've already bought a home and I have plans to set up shop here for many years to come. Japanese can certainly be servants. I don't mind living here. Interesting. Did he say the Japanese can be servants? Bro, I don't like these dudes. How long do you think we have to put up with these guys here? Man, I don't know. It's not too bad though. Yeah, I guess you're right. This seat at Starbucks just became available, and I moved over here with my coffee in order to charge my cell phone. I sit down in the taxi right there, right in front of me, the taxi, boom, boom. That was beautiful, beautiful. All right, Nagasaki. I was at this Starbucks right here. This little section right here, that's a little turnabout. The taxis come in and then they leave over there. They come in right here and leave out. So the taxi that pulled up was taxi 109. And I had moved from my seat. I was seated inside, waiting for a window seat. A seat became available and I moved on it. I pounced on it and I moved. As soon as I sat down, I took a sip of my coffee, looked at my phone, and then I happened to look up. I looked up and there it was. Man, that was incredible. Incredible moment. Again, I wasn't searching for it, it just happened. Psh, Nagasaki. Let's just put this into perspective. Look at these license plates. Look at all of these cars as they pass. If you don't see 109, if you can't find it quickly, that means that's because it's not everywhere. It's not ubiquitous. It's not easy to find. And if it isn't easy to find, then it's a miracle. It's a miracle when you encounter any particular given number. Look at that, 6. That is a miracle. 1 digit on that car, man. All right, granted, in Japan, it's easy. It's easier to find single digit numbers than it is in other countries, especially Los Angeles. But here we are, looking for 109, and we're not finding it. Nope. This is some of that mental gymnastics I mention often. This bus, 2827. You could look at that and read that as 10-9. 2 plus 8 is 10. 2 plus 7 is 9. But as I say often, you have to do some mental gymnastics. You have to, look at it and imagine it. So that's not what we're talking about. We're looking just for 109.
でもさ、これだけは渡したかった。
長崎に無事のご飯を。
Well, guys, and so ends my day in Nagasaki, Japan. I took the bus down here early in the morning, 5:59 in the morning, and then from the bus, I went to the Peace Park. Went to the Peace Park. After the Peace Park, made my way throughout the town. I rode the tram, and everything has been beautiful. Everything has been wonderful. What else did I do? I got a massage just a short while away. I mean, a short time ago. And I've been kind of staying under the budget, but also going over the budget. Those massages weren't expected, but definitely I needed them. I saw 109 today. I went to Starbucks and there it was, just like, boom, for real. Wasn't expecting it. It was completely serendipitous. That was amazing. So it is what it is, you guys. I thought I would have some more to say, but I guess that's it. A beautiful day in Nagasaki, Japan. Somber day for after visiting the Nagasaki Memorial. Actually, for the second time. I was here 9 or 10 years ago, and I went there, and it was the same experience. It resonated very deeply because it's a sad event. Some 70,000 people lost their lives like that. And then another 70,000 were injured due to the bomb blast. That's horrific. So, well, the sun will be setting soon. Within 3 hours, I'll have to be back on the bus to head back to Fukuoka. Japan is an amazing country. These beautiful cities. This, especially right here, it reminds me of, Europe. Well, it reminds anyone of Europe, right? So, all right. Hope you enjoy watching the video. I make these for posterity. In the future, for future generations, I'll look back on these and say, wow, I did that? Like, yeah, I sure did. Peace and blessings from IC 109.
Hi everyone, I'm Gian Des from Philippines. I see you 109. Kita kita.